I have been a fair amount of places in this world. I'm so grateful to have had such enormous privilege in my life that I've been able to experience so many things. I have seen thunderstorms in the distance as I rode the waves of the Caribbean in a catamaran. I've seen castles in Germany. They call them Schlosses. The great falls of the Potomac River and the mist of the shores of the Pacific Northwest. I lived in Utah for 14 years, and the beauty of the entire state is even hard to describe. But I don't think I have ever seen anything quite like Yosemite. I went to Yosemite for the better part of 3 days while I was gone in April, and those are some of my vacation pictures. That was the only way I could show you my slides. I did a variety of things in the last month, including seeing family and spending some time by myself on the road. But my trip to Yosemite was the most amazing part. As you walk up to Yosemite Falls, the lower falls, not the upper falls, I didn't get that far, it creates its own weather system as the wind starts to blow mist into the air as it crashes to the rocks below. As we drove and later walked past Half Dome and El Capitan, although I have certainly seen and lived near mountains for many years, the sheer spectacle of the cliffs, the colors of the granite, the spectacular visions of the formations were astounding, just astounding. And it also felt big and timeless and intimate and overwhelming. I don't know anyone who's lived through the last few years and thought that we were having the best times of our lives. So many things have been challenging. Parenting and teaching and healthcare and being restaurant workers. The list could go on and on. We've talked about it many times. I feel like so many of us have spent so much time focused on the news, so focused on the pinball that flips us from one predicament to the next. That certainly has been true in many ways with the practice of ministry. As much as I love this work, it can be draining. And as a human, I left here a month or so ago with a heavy heart, filled with the intensity of ministry and the challenges of these days in the broader world. As I arrived in Yosemite, I wasn't prepared for the lesson it would teach me. There are all kinds of lessons in nature. Lessons can be as simple as you should really know what kind of mushroom that is before you eat it. Or maybe, what's that collie dog trying to tell me? But the main lesson of my trip was that this incredible beauty was here before we came, and it will be here after we are gone. I don't mean that in a frivolous way. I truly and deeply mean there is such amazing beauty in this world. It is everywhere. And as incredibly destructive as we humans can be, the amazing beauty in this world is all around us. And it was here before we got here, and it will be here after we are gone. This thought was comforting to me as I felt small and anonymous and powerless in the face of this giant falls of clear water, forming a stream of turbulent splendor as it traveled over the cliffs to craft a river below. The thousands of years of erosion that the water has carved in the rocks in all the granite faces of the Yosemite Valley served as a reminder of the turning wheel of our years, from one year to the next, no matter what happens inside or outside the Beltway. I guess that could have also made me feel insignificant, but in so many ways it gave me plenty of comfort. And it was a good lesson for a tired preacher. I know this is hard to hear sometimes, but for almost all of us, we truly are the center of our universe. I mean, isn't it hard not to be? Of course we have our love of children, parents, spouses, or friends. They can certainly be incredibly close in their orbits, but inherently we see things from our perspectives. And most days, the world revolves around how we interpret and feel about it. It's a natural circumstance of being human. But then at times, when at its best, the practices of religious or spiritual life can be a vital perspective-building exercise that can serve to broaden our perspectives and help us with connections that can feel hard to explore. Standing at the base of these falls, looking thousands of feet in the air over the multicolored sheer face of cliffs, help me to think that there is an infinite beauty in this universe, that it's far bigger than me, that it has connective tissue I may never understand, and that at least for me, it is the search for what some might call God that fills me when I experience it, whatever it is. It is what my friend Rebecca Savage described in our chalice lighting today as, behold what creation can do. Behold, this is love made real, that you can touch, taste, and smell around you. These thoughts brought me to a certain peace in the swirl of the world we share. This peace often comes unexpectedly when in the presence of beauty that exceeds my understanding. I crave that beauty. I am perfectly fine with not understanding it. Normally, understanding tugs at me every day in my daily life. The need to understand, the reading of perspectives, the checking of websites, the study, the debates, the conversations, the endless flow of information, the data that fills my head from endless sources and endless perspectives. But standing there in the light wind and cool mist, there was no data. There was just this amazing beauty. A beauty I had the great honor and privilege to experience, to enjoy, in which to find awe and mystery and wonder, and for a few beautiful moments, some peace. As your minister, I would very much like to invite you to Yosemite with me, but there just isn't enough money in the ministerial discretionary fund to pay for that dream. Instead, here's my invitation. Take a break and intentionally wind down at some point. Turn off your phone. Get away from the internet. Turn off the streaming and find the stream. Whatever it is, go look for and find something that was here before we came and will be here after we are gone. Something that is far bigger than you, that has connective tissue you may never understand, that force of our existence that, whether you believe in it or not, could be what some might call God, or at least something that fills you with the kind of experience that you may not even have words to describe. In my ministry, I've come to realize that we humans need this beauty. We need this beauty always, but we really, really need it now. This kind of beauty can also serve as a reminder that we may never know how the things that are happening now in the world will end. We may never know if our efforts to transform this world through acts of love and justice shall. What I hope we can find comfort and spiritual grounding in is that incredible beauty does exist in the world. It was here before we came, and it will be here long after we are gone, and it is what creation has done. It is love made real. And although it may not be something that we can always describe with words, it is something when we are intentional or lucky enough to experience it that we can touch and taste and smell all around us. I truly hope this will be for all of us. May it be so, and amen.